Okay, so this was the first option in our end of year test. So a lot of you are mixing ideas here. So it reads in the diagram below, ABCD is a parallelogram with A 1, 2, B 7, -1, and then C -1, -2. So since this thing is a parallelogram, opposite sides are always parallel to each other. So you have this parallel to this parallel to that. So now what you need to know about parallel lines is they have equal gradients. So if the gradient of this is 100, then the gradient of this will also be 100. If the gradient of this is a 1, the gradient of this will also be a 1. You don't use this concept because this is only used when you have two perpendicular lines. When you have two perpendicular lines, if the gradient of one is 1 over 2, then the other gradient will be -2, so that the product is always equal to -1. So this is not applicable here. So let's solve. Find the equation of AD and CD. So to find the equation of AD, as you can see, we don't have coordinates for this, so we can't directly find the gradient of AD. You have to find the gradient of BC first, and then take advantage of the fact that this is parallel to that. So if these two lines are parallel to each other, then they have the same gradients. You just need to use the gradient of this and this point, since the point is on the line AD, to find the equation of AD. So let's find the gradient of BC. The gradient of BC will be, we can say y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Yes, so the coordinates for B are 7, -1. Then for C, you have -1, -2. So you can put something like this on top. Then you can call these ones your ones. Then these will be your twos. So the gradient will be, our y2 is -2. Then our y1 is -1. So the order doesn't matter. If you want, you can call these ones your ones, then these will be your twos. And then we have x2, which is -1, minus x1, which is a 7. So now -1 minus -1, this is -1. Then -1 minus 7 is -8. Remember, negative times negative is positive. Then so this one will be 1 over 8. So this is the gradient we'll be using even on when finding the equation of AD. So we have the gradient, which is 1 over 8. And then we have a point A, which is 1, 2. So to find the equation of this, it's up to you now to choose the method of the method of your choice. For me, I'll use this one, this same one there. M is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Or you can remove these things. So our M here is 1 over 8. Then you can leave the y as it is. Then our y1 will be 2. Then everything over x minus our x1 here is 1. So now we can cross multiply this times this and this times that. So this times this will be 8y minus 16, and this times this will be x minus 1, like this. And then you can take the 16 to the other side so that you have this plus that, and then this will be x, this plus this will be positive 15. You can either leave it like this, or you can make y the subject of the formula by dividing through by 8 so that you have this. So like this or like this, it's okay. And then next, this is the equation of AD, by the way. This is the equation for AD. Then to find the equation of CD, as you can see, CD is parallel to AB. So if you can just find the gradient of AB, that same gradient can be used to find the equation of this, since the two lines are parallel and their gradients are exactly the same. So to find the gradient of AB, we have the coordinates 1, 2 and 7, -1. So our gradient here will be y2 minus y1, everything over x2 minus x1. So our gradient will be, let me call these my x1, x2, and then xy, yeah. So our y2 will be -1 minus our y1 is 2, x2 is 7, then x1 is 1. So you can find the gradient now. This minus this is -3. 7 minus 1, this is a 6. So our gradient here is -half. So since this is parallel to this, the gradient of this is exactly the same as the gradient of that. So now to find the equation, let me just use a different method. We have a point -1, -2, and then another we also have the gradient, which is -1/2. So now to find the equation of this, you are free to use any method of your choice. Let's just use a different one here. Okay, so our y is -2, and then our x is -1, then our m is -half. Our c is unknown, but we know that it's a constant, so we can just solve for c and substitute it in there. So this times this will be a half plus c, and then we have -2 minus half is equal to 6, and then you find the common denominator here, which is a 2, and then 1 into 2, this is 2 times that, this will be -4. This into this is 1 times that, this is -1. So this one will be -5/2 is equal to c. So now to find the equation of is it CD? Actually, these coordinates are for C. So to find the equation of CD, you just substitute the m there with your half, and then the c there with your -5/2. So the equation here will be -half minus 5 over 2, and you are done. By the way, this question had 5 marks. I just swapped when I was typing. And then next we want to find the coordinates of D. So to find the coordinates of D, you simply solve these two equations simultaneously. So I believe you already know what to do here. So I'll just substitute this in there. So because I want to make it easier, I'll first add these. This one will be 8 plus 15 over 8, and then this will be x minus 5 over 2. So now you can multiply everything by 8 to get rid of the denominators. So this one will be like 8 multiplied by x plus 15, everything over 8, like this. So this and that can cancel out. Same applies to this side. So this and that will go. And then you have x plus 15 is equal to 4 times negative x is negative 4. And that's negative 20. When you collect the like terms, you bring the negative 4 this side, you add it to this is 5x. The negative 15 this side plus negative 20 minus 15. That is when you take the negative 15 this side, this will be 35. So that means your x will be negative 7. So now to solve for y, you can use any of the two. I think the second one is much easier for me. So our x is negative 7 minus 5 over 2. And then this times this will be positive 7 over 2 minus 5 over 2. So 7 minus 5, this one will be 2 over 2. Then your y is that. So I didn't want to waste a lot of time here, because I know you are able to solve simultaneous equations just fine. So now to find the area, you need to use this formula. Area is equal to half. So regardless of the shape you're dealing with, whether it's a triangle, a rectangle, or any shape whatsoever, you must have a half here. Then this one will be x1 comma y1, then x2 y2, x3 y3. So our figure here has 4 shapes, has 4 corners. So we must have 4 coordinates, x4, y4, and then you must repeat the first coordinates. So now one important thing you must know when getting the coordinates here is you must always get them in an anti-clockwise manner, in the opposite direction of your watch. So I'll start with A. It doesn't matter which coordinates you start with. You can start with this, you can start with that, you can start with that, as long as you are moving in an anti-clockwise manner. And then I think our D is negative 7, 1. Yeah, this is negative 7, 1. Okay, so our A is 1, 2. Our D is negative 7, 1. Then our C is negative 1, negative 2. Our B is 7, negative 1. and then we repeat the first two coordinates. So now to find the area, you get the product of the major diagonals first. So this times this is 1, -7 times -2 is +14. -1 multiplied by -1 is +1. 7 multiplied by 2, this is 14. Then minus brackets. So these brackets are very important because we have a negative sign here. The moment you leave the brackets out, then everything inside the brackets, everything else you write may not be correct because of this negative here. So it's minus the minor diagonals, these ones here. So you can say -7 times 2, this would be -14. -1 times 1, this would be -1. 7 by -2, this is -14. 1 times -1, this is -1. So 1 plus 14, this is 15. 1 plus 14 is 15. 15 plus 15, this will be a 30. And as you can see, it's the same case here. This is -15, this is -15. Together we have -30. So if your area is negative, it means you are getting your coordinates in a clockwise manner. So that means you have to reverse the order or introduce the modular sign. Yes, so negative and negative is 30. So 30 plus 30 is 60, and then half of 60 is 30. Do not forget the units. So you have square units like that.